I tell you this much. I can tell you this much. Monday Night Raw was not as good as the previous weeks. We are once again back in the Judgment Day era when it comes to the tag team division. And listen, I actually do not hate this as much as other people do, because I know there's going to be several people are sick of the Judgment Day being tag team champions. But if you think about it logically, there's a good reason why they're champions. And to me, it's because most of the tag team division are baby faces, like Otis and Tozawa, New Catch Republic, The New Day, the Creed brothers, who are kind of turning heel now with Chad Gable. But the point that I am making is that on the Monday Night Raw side of things, there are far too many babyface teams, LWO. And do you guys not realize the Judgment Day are kind of feuding with the LWO right now? Like, can you imagine if it leads to Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee challenging for the tag team titles? Look, I don't really want to see Rey champion in the year of 2024, but it will definitely benefit Dragon Lee, because that's the point. The point is that Judgment Day are really the only heel team outside of the Final Testament, which I don't really buy into them. Like, Triple H just needs to give it a rest with the Final Testament. Like, the fans do not care. The crowd was so dead silent when Karrion Kross made his entrance. Ha ha ha! Look at that! I'm funny because his theme song is called Dead Silent. Ha ha ha! Laugh! I made a comedic joke. But that's the point. Karrion Kross, his whole faction, fans don't give a shit about them. Like, the crowd could care less about them, so why should I care? So to me, I don't consider the Final Testament that big of a deal of a heel team. So you've only got the Judgment Day as the only real heel team. And the only other heel team they had is injured. Ivar and Eric, the Viking Raiders. So really, you've only got one option. So you got New Catch Republic, LWO, Creed brothers, who are potentially now going down the road of a heel turn, Otis and Tozawa, Awesome Truth, and I might have missed someone else. And no, I'm not considering Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther as a tag team, because Gunther and Ludwig are both singles guys. I do not count them because they're singles guys. They're both branching off on their own as singles wrestlers. And who really wants to see Gunther wearing tag team gold? We all want to see Gunther winning the big belts, which is most likely something he'll be doing at SummerSlam. But my point still stands. There are way more babyface teams than heel teams. Awesome Truth were not great champions. I could not buy into them as champions. And look, as I said, if you like Awesome Truth, more power to you. But me, I couldn't care less. Do you know what I did when R-Truth called Liv Morgan Carmella? The answer was, I did not laugh. I did not find that funny at all. I was rolling my eyes. Oh, Carmella was blonde, though she's a brunette now, though she had brown hair. But of course, R-Truth is oblivious. You know, I mostly hear people say they like R-Truth because he's funny. I don't really ever hear people say, oh, I like R-Truth because he's a great wrestler. I mostly hear people say, I like R-Truth because he's funny. He's a natural treasure and should be protected at all costs. He's funny. It's kind of ironic that I only hear people say they like him because he's funny, not they like him because he's actually a good wrestler, which, if R-Truth didn't always try to be stupid with his jokes, I probably would enjoy him more. As an in-ring wrestler, I don't have a problem with him. I don't have a problem with him when he's in the ring, because he's at least semi-entertaining as a wrestler, but when he's doing these silly jokes that are not funny in the year 2024, calling people the wrong names, that's not funny. Drew McIntyre opened up the show by talking about what he did to CM Punk, and he's talking about qualifying, and he talks about going into the Money in the Bank, which he has to qualify. Drew McIntyre will have to fight Sheamus and Ilya Dragunov in a Money in the Bank qualifier, and my God, are these Money in the Bank qualifying matches so predictable and really lame? I mean, Drew versus Sheamus and Dragunov is probably by far the only good one. Like these Money in the Banks are becoming way too predictable. And don't get me wrong, I know some people are going to say, well, weren't you pegging for new people to have a turn? Yeah, I am. But am I going to be pegging, was I pegging for Chelsea Green to be in the Money in the Bank? Absolutely not. She's only in the match because they're going to Canada. She's only in the match because they're going to Canada. If they were going to any other country, if they were going into any other country for the Money in the Bank, Chelsea Green would not be considered. She would not have qualified if they were going anywhere else. And you can say, and you can tell me I'm wrong, but I know I'm right. Lyra Valkyria, so obvious she was going to win her match. So obvious she was going to win. I didn't once believe Shayna Baszler or Kairi Sane had a chance, though I didn't want Shayna to win. Though I didn't want Shayna Baszler to win. I was okay with either Lyra Valkyria or Kairi. I was fine with either one of them. Though I'm not the biggest Lyra Valkyria fan. And then next week you got Tiffany Stratton most likely qualifying to beat Jade and Candice, which by the way Tiffany will pin Candice, and Indy Hartwell will most likely take the loss to either Naomi or Blair Davenport. So again, these Money in the Bank matches are so predictable, it doesn't make me want to care. Please, for the love of God, give the briefcase to Naomi. Please, for the love of God, give it to her. I do not want it on Chelsea Green. Please, for the love of God. Bron Breakker and Ludwig's match ended in a disqualification when Sheamus got involved, and now Ludwig's apparently injured. Well, the injury bug just keeps on affecting everybody, apparently, so yay, more injuries. And I don't mean that in a good way. Bron Breakker's going to be getting an Intercontinental title match, despite the fact that he never became #1 contender, but he's getting it anyway. Will this be Bron Breakker's first defeat? Here's the thing. You've obviously got Sami Zayn in Canada. They're going to have Sami Zayn in Canada, so it's either, unfortunately, Chelsea Green getting the hometown pop by winning the briefcase, or you have Sami Zayn win and beat Bron Breakker. Yes, you've got Kevin Owens, but I truly believe the Bloodline are going to be winning that as well. They're not going to have Jacob Fatu lose his first match. So, I guess we'll see where they go with that. I would be okay with Bron Breakker winning the IC title, if I'm being completely honest. Sami Zayn, he's been a fine champion, but I think it's time to move on to somebody else, because I do not want another 400 plus day reign. I'm kind of tired of lengthy reigns. I'm okay with some shorter reigns every now and then. So, again, Judgment Day continued to be the main characters of the entire show by Liv Morgan giving them gifts like nuggets and a PS5 for them to play 2K on it. Liv Morgan came out, cut a promo. Zelina Vega, man, Zelina Vega is so damn good on the mic. If there is one thing that people cannot deny, is Zelina Vega is awesome when she's on the microphone. She is great when she's on the microphone. I would love nothing more for Zelina Vega to win the title, but I know for a fact it's not gonna happen because, oh, that doesn't make sense for the story that they're telling. I don't care about the story that they're telling. You do know they can actually do Rhea versus Liv without the title? You know they can tell the story between Liv and Rhea without the championship? Oh, but here I was complaining about Becky Lynch being champion. And now I think people are sensing that, oh, I'm being a hypocrite. Oh, I wanted Liv to be the champion. Yeah, I wanted Liv to be the champion, but did I want her to be booked like this? Being nothing more than a little sex toy for Dirty Dom? Trying to seduce him? Daddy Dom this. Daddy Dom that. Did I expect Liv Morgan to be booked like this in a shitty way that makes her basically another version of Rhea Ripley when she was the champion? Friggin' fans were friggin' losing their minds when Rhea Ripley was doing this every week. People hated Rhea Ripley doing this every week. Cutting promos, not defending her belt, always telling everybody this, always cutting promos, being in segments, getting herself involved with the men. How everyone hated Rhea getting involved with the men. And now Liv Morgan is doing the exact same thing that everybody criticized Rhea for doing. And what a coincidence, it's fine for Liv Morgan to do it. Because when Rhea did it, it was bad. It painted the championship in a bad way. Fickle hypocrisy at its finest here. And I don't care if you people think I'm being a hypocrite for wanting Liv to be the champion, but now I want her to lose it. It's not because I don't hate Liv. It's because they're doing a shitty job and they're basically booking her the same way that Rhea was. Zelina Vega deserves to be the champion. Zelina Vega, who's been busting her ass off for a long time, deserves this opportunity. Deserves to be the champion. And why couldn't they do Liv versus Zelina at Money in the Bank instead of on Raw next week? Come on, Triple H! Have the match happen at a pay-per-view, for crying out loud. Have the match happen at the pay-per-view, for Christ's sake. Bayley's not defending her title at the pay-per-view. Oh, but I don't think people are gonna criticize Bayley for not defending the title at the pay-per-view. But again, championships are supposed to be defended at pay-per-views. That's what pay-per-views are for, or PLEs, I should say. They're not pay-per-views, they're PLEs. Whatever, they're the same bloody thing. Same thing. But that's the point that I'm trying to make here. Championships are supposed to be defended at PLEs. Not on episodes of Raw. But whatever. I just hope Zelina Vega wins next week. Which I know she won't. I know she won't. Because that's not the story they're telling. Because screw Zelina Vega. She's just a placeholder feud. She's just a placeholder until Rhea Ripley comes back. Because until Rhea Ripley comes back, Liv Morgan won't be champion for very long. Everything else on Raw was crap. Everything else on Raw I thought was pretty crap. Great to see Alba Fire and Isla Dawn finally getting TV time and, actually getting a bit of a decent push. But again, I don't know how long they'll be champions for. I kind of doubt they won't be champions for long, considering Damage Control are getting themselves involved, and Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark kind of threatened to take the titles from them. And then you've got possibly the worst Money in the Bank qualifying match of all time. You've got Zoe, Dakota, and Ivy Nile. Was that really the best they could do? And I don't get their obsession with triple threat matches. Why can't it just be a singles match? Like, why do these qualifying matches need to be triple threats? That's the other thing that blows my mind. Why are these qualifying matches triple threats? I don't get it. I don't. Why not just do one-on-one? Dakota Kai never wins, so I don't see Dakota winning. I wouldn't mind Ivy Nile winning, but because they've got the whole story of her and the Creeds possibly joining Chad, I just got this weird feeling they're going to give it to Zoe. I would love nothing more for Dakota Kai to win, because by God, Dakota deserves at least somewhat of a push, because Jesus Christ, this woman has not won a single match since being cleared. I would be okay with Dakota Kai or Ivy winning, because I could not care less about Zoe Stark. She has no aura, no pop. Every time she comes out, zero reaction. No one cares about this woman. No matter how hard Triple H tries to get her over, she will never get over. Listen, if Zoe Stark can't get over even with Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch breathing down her neck, then you know she's a failure. The new Lacey Evans of the women's division can't get over no matter how many times they try. Zoe's the new Lacey Evans. We've always got to have one, right? We've always got to have someone that will never get over no matter how hard they try. To be honest, Triple H should just give up on those people that don't get over. Just give up on them. But of course, that's the Vince McMahon way, right? That's the Vince McMahon way. Oh, they're not getting over? Oh, well, let's just get over. Oh, let's just end them. That's the Vince McMahon way. Triple H would never insult the fans' intelligence. Triple H would never be like Vince. But yet Chad Gable gets murdered by the Wyatt Six and is all of a sudden cleared to wrestle. Yeah, doesn't insult the fans' intelligence, my ass. Completely killing realism. The dude was seriously injured, but yet he's now rocking up on Raw next week like everything's okay. Oh, but he got a bandage on his head. Doesn't matter. He should be off TV for weeks. Completely killing realism. Completely killing realism. So Chad qualifies for the Money in the Bank. The dude got literally killed by the Wyatt Six, and now he's competing in a Money in the Bank ladder match. You know what? I know people want to see Yeet in the Bank. How about Master in the Bank? Thank you! I'd be so down for Chad Gable winning Money in the Bank. I'd be down for it. Something different. To be honest, I kind of find Jay winning very predictable. If I'm being completely honest, out of everybody there, Jay Uso winning sounds very predictable. Though people will say he deserves it, but it's still super predictable. If Jay wins. So Chad tries to track down his old Alpha Academy mates, and they don't really want to reunite with him, and that kind of leads to Ivy and the Creeds asking him if he's alright, and he says no, he needs help. So they're building to Ivy and the Creeds turning heel and joining up with Chad Gable. I find it pretty ironic that Ivy Nile was teaming with Maxine not too long ago, standing up for Maxine because Indy and Candice were bullying her. And now now she's ditching her. And now she's snitching on Maxine to possibly join up with Chad Gable. Does that make any sense to you? But good old Triple H doesn't insult the fans' intelligence. Apparently. He so doesn't insult our intelligence because Drew McIntyre quit, and then he comes back 6 days later. Yeah, I quit, goodbye! Yeah, and I'm gonna come back 6 days later. I'm gonna come back 6 days later, I'm gonna unquit 6 days later, turn up in Chicago to beat up CM Punk. But Triple H doesn't insult the intelligence. Yeah, he really did insult my intelligence as of late. Because my intelligence is more important than Triple H's shitty booking. So, as I said, everything else on the show was really not that great. I just didn't really care. Did not really care. Judgment Day are the tag team champions again. Finn and JD McDouchebag, JD McDonough, JD McDummer, whatever you want to call him. Again, I talked about it at the opening part of this video. I'm fine with it because at least it gives all the other babyface teams at least something to do. I sure as hell don't want to see Carlito champion in the year 2024. Don't want to see JD McDonough champion, but what can you do? Seth Rollins and Damian Priest have agreed on two big major stipulations that if Seth loses, he will never challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship as long as Damian is champion. And if Damian loses, he must leave the Judgment Day. If I'm being completely honest, I'd put the belt back on Seth. Though I do not like, I will say this, I don't like someone coming back and immediately getting a title shot. Not a fan of that, never have been. Never have been. Never have been. Never have been a fan of someone just coming back and getting a title shot immediately. But I'd rather Seth Rollins champion, because I don't really buy into Damian as a world champion. I mean, he's had a decent run. But the thing is, Damian Priest said the Judgment Day need him more than he needs the Judgment Day. So, I think he's setting himself up here. So, I say have Seth win and then transition the belt to Gunther. So I see Seth winning and then they transition the belt from Seth to Gunther. That's what I think they're gonna do. I wouldn't mind Seth Rollins being a transitional champion just to pass it on to someone like Gunther. I honestly, Seth versus Gunther's a match I wanted to see happen when Seth was champion the first time. But he was IC champion when all that happened. And Seth did make a good point. Damian says he didn't need help, but he's had help to win and retain on both occasions. But let's see if he can beat Seth Rollins without any outside help this time. But I feel like the Judgment Day are going to turn on Damian at Money in the Bank. But I guess we will see. So that's the end of this review, guys. I don't really have anything else to say. This show was just not very good. I did not care about majority of... Not much. Didn't really even care much about the show. Again, Liv and Zelina is really the only thing I'm interested in. I just wish they just stopped involving Dominik and everything. But hey, you know, it's whatever. But I gotta be patient. Good things come for those who wait. Long-term storytelling. Yeah, Triple H. I think we're done with long-term storytelling, buddy. But regardless, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on the other side.